Hello. So today was January 9th, I believe. It's Wednesday. I've been thinking that I wanted to make this video to address the generosity of some people. Recently I, in a panic, reached out, and some people were very kind to share my plight with others. Some people were very generous to contribute some money. Someone had even given me $5 and said it helped, and I'm like, yeah, baby, it helped a lot. I'm very appreciative of everything that anyone's given to me during this time. Lately, I've been the recipient of some incredible pieces of generosity that I would love to share, but I'm just not sure if I should share, because I don't know how people would feel about me publicly stating what they've done. So at some point, maybe I will. Maybe I'll ask them how they feel. But I just want to respect that. But I'm just amazed, and I have been reaching out to people nervously, worried about what they may think. But I really am getting to a point where it's like, what's the worst that can happen? And one time somebody said, if you can live with the worst that can happen, if you know what the worst that can happen is, which I don't know if you could even know what the worst that can happen is, but if you know what the worst is and you can live with it, then why not do it? So, and I think when you're desperate, and when you realize that it really doesn't matter, I guess it kind of gives you freedom to try it. I remember one time I was in a seminar, and we were breaking arrows with our neck. Yeah, that was kind of scary. This was a seminar I had attended previously, and in that seminar we were breaking boards with our hands. And the way it's talked about, it really does sound kind of scary, because you can really mess yourself up if you're not doing it right. And in this particular seminar where we were breaking the arrows with our necks, they were handing out the permission forms. And just because they had the permission forms and you signed off, and basically you're taking responsibility for whatever happens, and leaving them the liability, possible liability of them, the people holding the event, we're making them not liable. I'm trying to talk. I guess I'm not doing too well here, but so anyway, you release them of liability. That's it. So the release didn't mean that you were going to do it. You didn't commit to it or anything. It was just a release. Without signing the release, you couldn't do it. And I remember there was someone there that, it just was so uncomfortable, the thought that they wouldn't even sign the release. And I'm like, well, why don't you sign the release? Because then at least you can just decide at some point if you want to do it or not. And they just chose not to do that. So it's sort of like, if you don't, just because you take a step, I guess, doesn't mean anything necessarily, other than you took a step. Because you never know what happens if you take that step. You might trip and fall. You might break your nose. But you might also go places and do things you didn't imagine. And there's someone I reached out to that actually asked me to get in touch with somebody else and said maybe we can do something together. And the possibility of that's kind of exciting. So we'll see what happens with that. So I don't want to say too much about that either until I know more. So either it dies and I'll share it with you, or it's alive and I'll share it with you. So I guess I'm one big tease today. So I wasn't sure what all I was going to say, but I guess these are just a few things I'm thinking about. My mind is thinking a lot, and been doing a lot of driving, going to a lot of networking, met some more great people this morning. And it's, I guess, a very meditative state to be in when you're in a car. I was kind of laughing because, and then I think there's probably a metaphor in here somewhere, but as I was trying to get out of my car, I was kind of in a different mental place, and I tried to lock my car, and every time I pushed the button to lock it, the lock would come up, and I'm like, and some weird things would happen with the car anyway, so I'm like, okay, this is weird, so I pressed it again, came up again, pressed it again, came up again. I don't even know how many times I did it, but a few. And I suddenly realized that inside the car it was beep, 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 because the keys were still in the ignition. And I was thinking, you know, sometimes maybe the car is smarter than I am. So I share that in case it creates any metaphors for you, but I think maybe there's times where we do something and we do something and we do something and something else is trying to tell us, you know, maybe this is not a good idea, but we're not listening, we're not present. So maybe that is the metaphor. Maybe I just figured it out. So anyway, I guess that's all for today, or for the moment anyway. Oh, wait, one other thing. I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but I think I'm supposed to meet somebody tonight from the site that I have met the other person from. And we'll see what happens, because the other guy, the one that I was talking about, never contacted me. I don't know what it is, why people say things that they don't really intend. I actually had reached out to him to at least let him know that I was interested in talking more, but I haven't heard a peep. So, was it the conversation about the cancer? Was it the usual what happens? People say stuff that they don't mean? I have no idea. And as I say that, a part of me almost wants to call him on it and ask him and put him on the spot. And if I ever do, maybe I'll share with you what he says. But, oh well. There would have been a time where I would have really cared, but I guess this is the stage in the game and with everything that's going on with me. C'est la vie. So, I guess that will be it now. So, see you later. Thanks for your interest. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being you.